The woman on the island finally caught a few small fish, but she didn't want to eat any of them, so she smashed all the fish. Then she threw her head into the sea, picked up a sword and a wooden stick, and waited for the prey to appear. As everyone had expected, a small shark picked up the scent of the nearby fish and slowly began to swim over towards its location. I thought the woman would eat a meal because of this, but she didn't. She waited for quiet night, hung her caught little shark on a tree with rope, hid in sandpit, and awaited bigger prey. Because last night when she was about to go to bed, she suddenly heard a strange noise from a distance, so she fired a signal bullet. Suddenly, within seconds, she saw a humanoid monster at sea. To verify if the monster was an illusion, the woman hung the shark's bait on the tree and started testing it. As the night grew darker, the weary woman fell asleep because of fatigue. But the shark on the rope disappeared the next day. It is obvious that the humanoid monster truly exists. To escape quickly, Lisa hurriedly emptied all the clothes from the suitcase onto the ground and returned the old garments inside. It turned out that she was trying to make a simple way out of the desert, but she underestimated her own weight. The life-saving method she made could not bear her weight at all. In the end, Lisa abandoned her escape plan for now. As the night grew darker, in order to survive, Lisa hurriedly dug into a dead tree to avoid being discovered by the scary monster. I thought I'd be safe hiding in there like this. Who would have thought that deep in the quiet of the night, a soft, lingering whistle would fill the air, and subsequently, the entire dead tree would begin to tremble violently and descend into a state of frantic panic as the unsettling noise continued to resonate through the stillness. Lisa had to hold her breath and dare not make a sound. Fortunately, the low whistle soon disappeared. Lisa finally spent a night without danger. When she noticed the horrible red of the monster, Lisa quickly cut a wooden stick in her hand and waited for the night to defend herself. She suddenly found a dead body floating. Her recently deceased companion is the other party. But the strange thing is the companion's lower body has been blown away. The wound reveals the cause. It must have been done by that monster. In order to view the monster, Lisa seized the chance to hang her companion's body on the wall. Then she hid in the sandpit and watched quietly. I didn't expect the human-shaped monster to appear after night. She also dragged her companion's body forcefully from the tree. Just before Lisa was terrified by the scene, the monster vanished. I decided not to wait any longer for her to respond, choosing instead to proceed with my plans without her input or feedback on the matter at hand. At that moment, Lisa was too scared to cover her mouth. Therefore, the monster was unable to locate her. The next day, Lisa chose not to wait. To save herself, she found a torn cloth and placed it on the tree as a resting spot. She felt safe high above. But she didn't expect that the monster was highly sensitive to both sound and smell cues in the environment. Soon, I smelled Lisa hiding in the tree. And then I began to attack her fiercely, unleashing all my pent-up anger and frustration that had been building up over the past few weeks, with no intention to stop. To ensure her survival, Lisa had to flee. But the monster wouldn't let her go easily now. It jumped right before her. Then, in a swift and unexpected motion, the powerful mechanism violently threw her away, casting her high into the air and leaving her disoriented and shaken. Luckily, Lisa had just stabbed the monster. In the end, she escaped in pain. Seeing this, Lisa quickly climbed a large tree and spent a long, anxious night there. Next morning, Lisa began treating last night's wounds. Suddenly, she noticed a leather boat on the nearby sea. This moment gave her the hope of survival. Without further ado, she quickly swam there. But what she didn't expect was that the man on the leather boat was her boyfriend and best friend who had disappeared a few days ago. Then Lisa quickly caught a few fish and treated them to a meal. She let the two of them eat and quickly took her away. Because a humanoid monster lived on this island, it will show up at night. Last night when she was resting, she was attacked by that monster. Fortunately, the monster was injured. She was lucky enough to save her life. She hoped boyfriend could rescue her from island. But her boyfriend and her best friend have been drifting on the sea for a long time. Back to ground isn't easy. They don't want to go back to the sea anymore. They plan to rest on this desert island for a few days. This moment made Lisa feel a little scared, because there really is a mysterious monster on this desert island. But in front of Lisa, they didn't believe it at all. They think the monster is a hallucination caused by Lisa's fear. Just before Lisa was about to die, she suddenly saw her boyfriend chatting with her best friend. Obviously, they didn't take their words seriously. She realizes her boyfriend is now in love elsewhere. Lisa no longer chose to help them. Upon returning to camp, she quietly packed up supplies. She carefully planned to sneak away alone. After packing up the supplies, she hurriedly pushed the raft to the sea. Just when she thought the escape plan would work, her distant best friend suddenly turned her head. She found Lisa stealing the raft, so they rushed over to stop Lisa. When they saw that the matter was exposed, Lisa wanted to speed up her actions. But it was too late. Soon she was caught by the two of them. At the critical moment, Lisa kicked her friend's head. She didn't want to irritate her best friend. The next second arrived in an instant. Her best friend knocked Lisa unconscious this way. In order to prevent her from doing anything wrong again, her best friend tied her to a big tree. She didn't know that she would pay a heavy price soon. Her best friend then came to shore to collect Shell. She didn't realize that a pair of eyes in the dark had been staring at her. The next second, a loud scream was heard by the seashore. The man who heard the movement hurriedly rushed over with a torch. As a result, he saw the monster cutting the sand. So he rolled over carefully with a sturdy wooden stick. Although in pain, the monster jumped into water. But when the man was about to rescue the woman, suddenly monster dragged woman to shoreline. It was then she realized Lisa had been telling the truth. Indeed, that truly dreadful monster absolutely exists in our world. Together, they eventually found themselves stranded alone in the desert. To survive, they swiftly launched the only leather boat into the ocean. They believed the leather boat would be their escape. Unexpectedly, dark shadow emerged from sea. The man felt a surge of fear upon seeing it. But before he could respond, a sharp claw suddenly seized him. He realized the desert monster must have found them. Lisa quickly pulled down the curtain and hid. But this was of no use. Shortly, a noise was heard at the leather boat's bottom. At that moment, a big hole was torn open below. Then he put his head in. Lisa was scared and kicked over. But the monster didn't give up the fight. At a critical moment, the man grabbed signal gun. A shot to his head, although the monster disappeared in a moment of pain. But next second, monster pulled Lisa into shore. No matter how hard Lisa struggled, her efforts were ultimately of no use. He suddenly became aware that he was carrying a small knife on his body. So he stabbed the monster in the neck. Until then, the monster finally let go. But before Lisa could be happy, she worked hard. The monster swam in the direction of his boyfriend. He wanted to rush over to save him, but in the end it was already too late. He let the monster drag his boyfriend into sea pit. After much effort, the woman climbed back to shore. The death of her boyfriend filled her with anger. She realized that the monster would never let them go. The woman also understood that instead of waiting to die on this deserted island, why don't you fight the monster to the death? So after returning to desert, Lisa began making weapons from wooden sticks. Then she gathered dry wood and formed a circle. On this occasion, he absolutely will not release his grip on the monster. As expected, when the night was quiet, at that moment the monster returned to the desert. He fell unknowingly into Lisa's trap. Soon the monster was lured by some fish. In the next instant, Lisa ignited a fierce fire. She surrounded the monster, driving it to death. Then, while he was distracted, she directly stabbed him with a wooden stick. She hid in darkness, awaiting his next attack. I didn't expect the monster to learn its lesson this time. He forcefully slapped Lisa and brought her down. But Lisa was not planning to give up. He once again attacked the monster, but he still underestimated the strength of the monster. Soon he was pinched in the head by the monster. At critical moment, Lisa quickly stabbed monster. This is the clever and resourceful way he managed to escape from the monster. But he hasn't run far yet. The monster suddenly appeared in front of him. He feared his own death. Unexpectedly, in the next second, the monster fell from blood loss. During this period, Lisa raised the stick in her hand and stabbed the monster in the head. In this way, Lisa overcame the monster on her own. As the fire spread across the desert, I believe the rescuers will soon find him. This video comes to a definitive end.